Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tayler Yarish Show. This is episode 8, everybody. This is episode 8, almost at the double digits. Can you believe it? I can't. Here we are. Recording this on Sunday. We're drinking a Bud Light. It's 1:15 in the afternoon. I'm this guy now. This is the guy I am, wearing a Stones cut-off hoodie, drinking a Bud Light, talking to you people. This is what I've become. I'm a little ashamed to admit that I enjoy a Bud Light, but I kind of do. It's not bad. And if you don't, I can't drink heavy beers because this is a weird thing about me. I don't know how to burp. I don't know how to make myself burp. It's a weird thing I've had my entire life. People tell me it's wrong. It's a wrong thing about my body. I know it is. I know I should be able to burp, but I can't. So I can't drink heavy beers because I get full before I get drunk. I'm not a man. So I actually enjoy the Bud Light. It is nice and light. And everybody says that it tastes like piss. And to that I say, how do you know? How do you know that? I've never tasted, that's not true. I've tasted my own pee before, accidentally shot it into my own mouth. That was a fun evening. But anyway, yeah, I don't think it tastes like piss. I don't think it'd be that big of a seller if it did. But yeah, people say, you're drinking Bud Light. What are you, some kind of little girl? What are you, were you a little girl or something? I don't think so, though. I think it's a good beer. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Bud Light. I don't know what their slogan is. It's not drink responsibly, though. I think that's every beer things. We're starting off good. This episode, my arm hurts. I went into the bathroom, and we have like a radiator pole in our bathroom that periodically, without warning, will just get hot as fuck. It will get super hot, doesn't make a sound. You just it's right next to our sink, so you just bump into it when you reach back to brush your teeth, and it just burns the fuck out of you. It's a nice pick-me-up in the morning, if I'm being honest, but, this is the state. This is the state of our apartment. It's constantly evolving. Walls are still not fixed, and a new thing, our doors, the door to our bedroom and the door to our bathroom do not close all the way. You close them, and then they pop right back open. The little slot by the door handle doesn't go into the little hole, and it doesn't click. So what the fuck do I do there, huh? What aisle of Home Depot is that? Our doors are not doors. Okay? So that's what we've been dealing with. That's the state of this apartment. It is, you never know what the little things are going to be about a place until you've lived there for like 6 months. The viewing is always rushed because the realtor, the person is just standing there kind of watching you. Like, you don't get an open house in New York, or like when you set a meeting to see a place, you're not alone. And you there's this weird pressure to like it and to be okay with everything. But you can't see all the little shit I can't imagine buying like a house. Could have just said house. But yeah, all the shit that you discover, and that's like a purchase. Like, you're buying a place, and then you're like, oh, all this shit is wrong with it. And that's what we're finding out. The other day, our water was just brown water. Now, this seems like a thing that I don't have to fix myself. Can I call the landlord on this one? So I sent him a text, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's a city issue. The fuck does that mean? Oh, yeah, it's a city issue. Well, you know what? Go down to the city and figure it out. Knock on their door and start asking questions, because why is my water brown? What do you mean? This is the vaguest answer I've ever received. It's a city issue? What did they do? Did they move the ocean closer? Why is it rusty? Why do I have rusty water? That's what my landlord said it was. It's rust. They're probably doing something in the area, and they shook a bunch of rust loose, and now it's coming out of my pipes. What the fuck else is coming out that's clear? What am I not seeing? All I drink is tap water. Because for the most part, New York is the best tap water that's around. It's the best tap water money can buy. And so I trust it, but now it's brown, and it's brown in our toilet, it's brown in our sink, and it's kind of freaking me out. He goes, don't worry about it. It's not a health issue. Yeah, thanks. I wasn't worried about it being a health issue. I just don't want it to be brown. You know, I care about the color of I see color when it comes to my water. I see color, okay? I like clear. I like no color. I want to see right through my water. I don't like brown water. Okay? Okay. I am racist as fuck when it comes to my water. No brown. Not a fan, okay? Because you don't think rust, you think shit. You think, oh, I have shit water right now. If you have, brown, you're not taking a swig of that, even if it's so not helpful. Oh, don't worry, it's not threatening, it's not harmful. Great, thanks. Neither are mice. You think the people that live in the Bronx in those fucking, high-rise apartments that have rats the size of Puxatawny Phil, you think that, yeah, don't worry about it. It's not a health issue. They're not going to kill you. It's just a little rat. It's just a little gigantic rat. What are you complaining about? Why would you want that out of your apartment? What are you, a pussy? What do you drink, Bud Light? What's the matter with you? It's got me jacked up, man. I'm done with like thinking old shit is cool. You know what I mean? I just want to have nice things. But I can't afford nice things, so that's just how it goes. I want to live in Manhattan, but I don't want to live in something that was built, before women had the right to vote. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? But that's where we are. I don't know. We move so much. We do. We move like we're setting this pace for ourselves where we kind of move once every year. And it's a real burden on my friends. I want to move. I'll be honest. It feels like we just moved in here, and I want to move. Our lease is up in June. I want to move, but I can't ask my friend to move another couch. This poor guy, he's moved every couch we've ever had, and I just can't ask him to do it again. So that, like, guilt and fear of asking is the only thing that's going to keep us in this apartment. Because Kate wants, she wants fucking everything to have light. She wants to live in a goddamn greenhouse. And now she's sending me TikToks about people that live in greenhouses. And I've had enough, Not everything's going to have light. Light, you turn on the light. There's the light, And everybody takes her side. You got to have the natural. You got to have the natural light. Well, you know what? We don't have it. So what do you want me to do? You want to knock down a wall? There's nothing I can do. Okay? Okay. We had a fun weekend. I got introduced, or I should say exposed to something that I wish I hadn't, because I gone down the rabbit hole, and it's a thing that's a huge phenomenon on YouTube, apparently, and it kind of creeps me the fuck out. It's, have you ever heard of VTubers? Most of you probably haven't, or maybe you have. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. It's a segment of the anime community, which, already no. I'm with the anime. Just I can't deal with it. I also I don't understand it. Like graphic novels and just I never was into Dragon Ball Z as a kid. I didn't get it. I thought like every time they like wound up like and they would like shoot energy or whatever out of their palms, I just thought it was fucking stupid. I thought it was so dumb. I didn't get it. But obviously I'm wrong because it's a huge fucking deal. But I got exposed to VTubers, and if you don't know what that is, allow me to shed some light so you don't have to YouTube it and fuck up your own algorithm. And now all YouTube, just shows you VTubers and anime and all that stuff. And it's what it is. It's basically, it's like a YouTuber who creates a anime character of themselves using some kind of software. Apparently, it's very expensive to create. Like it can cost up to, depending on how good it is, it can cost a couple grand. And it's like their virtual reality self. I mean, this is where we're going. It's kind of scary. And so it's this anime character, and then they do like, it's super Japanese, which, you know, it's the kind of thing where you watch some of these videos, these VTuber videos, and all I can think is there's a ton of people beating off to this. There just has to be. There's got to be a huge, it's too popular and too niche. It's somebody's kink. Somebody's beating off to it. And like there was this video I was watching. It's like this, just an anime person doing karaoke. It was like a live stream, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. And the live chat on the side is just fucking going. Let me play some of this. It's creepy as hell. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with, okay? Hundreds of thousands of people watching this. Am I just out of touch? Is this like how I feel about like dubstep music? Like it's just, you know, my brain can't wrap my head around. If you want to do this, I guess I get it. You know, you're into karaoke and it's, you know, Japanese is Japanese. I just don't relate to it very well. But I don't understand the amount of people that are watching it because there's nothing going on. It's just this avatar that's singing this weird karaoke, but all the comments are like, let's fucking go. Like you would think it was a UFC fight. They're just like, let's go. Fucking just fire emoji, fire, heart, fire emoji. Who are these people? Is this like some dude? This is like the dude at your office, you know, who's just like in the corner and you're like, I wonder what he's into. I've never really talked to him. This is what he's into. Somebody's definitely beaten off to this. You know what I mean? They can't not be. And I'm upset that I just found out that this is a thing because now I have to look at every part of it because I'm just fascinated by it. I'm just fascinated, and I hate how algorithms work where YouTube is now going to be like, this is your shit, and YouTube's owned by Google, so now my Google ad shit's going to get all messed up. I don't like how that happens. I don't like how just because you look at something, they think that you're now into it. You know what I mean? Because that's a slippery slope. I look at a lot of shit that I'm not into, you know? I was thinking about this the other day. Like I have a lot of people my age, people I went to high school with, people I know, they're all having babies, which is fine. It's a thing you do. But now they're making every person who has a baby, and people with dogs do this too. They have an Instagram for their baby, or they have an Instagram for their dog. But the baby is a creep. It's a slippery, weird slope because they want you to follow their baby, right? And it's fine, you know. Oh, look at you know the person. Oh, look at the baby pictures. Oh, he's a cute baby. That's fine. That's what the page is going to be. But how long do you do that? How long can you follow a baby's Instagram? Because eventually they're not a baby anymore. What once started as you following a baby, now you're just following a little boy's Instagram. Are you not? Like, what is, you're playing chicken here a little bit. Because it's like, oh yeah, baby picture. Like, when do you jump off the ship? Do you know what I mean? When do you, like, when they start losing teeth, you're like, all right, this is getting a little, you know, I don't know if I could follow, I don't know if I could be a part of this anymore. I don't want this registered, because Instagram's keeping track of that. I don't want that to fuck up my Instagram algorithm. Now Instagram is just sending me, you know, fucking kids on the playground, like, just crush these fucking monkey bars, or I don't know, or whatever it is. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't even want to look at your pictures, your baby pictures. Babies are not that cute. And maybe I'm just saying this because most babies don't like me. I when I hold them, they seem unhappy, and maybe they can sense that on me. They can sense that I'm uncomfortable. They just kind of freak me out a little bit. I think I'm scared that if I had a baby, I think I would definitely lose it. People say you wouldn't. They're like, there's no way you would. The unexplainable bond that you have with your child. Yeah. I get it. I have an unexplainable bond with my phone. You ever leave the house without your phone? It's frightening. I have to go back. I have to. I leave shit places. I've never left my phone anywhere. Like, I'm real worried that if I had a baby in my possession, I would leave it somewhere. And not, maybe not like I wouldn't leave it at the store. Although maybe, I just think I would leave it in places for short periods of time, but enough to where, like, you could say, oh, that's negligent. Like, you ever go to a store, like an Old Navy or wherever, or someplace, and, like, there's coats, and you want to try on one of the coats. You're not going to take the coat into the dressing room. You're just going to put the coat on there, but you have a coat on yourself. So you take the coat off, and you kind of throw it on the rack, and then you put that coat on, and then you have to go walk and find a mirror, and you kind of leave your coat on the rack. I think I would do that with a baby. If you get one of those quiet babies, then you put it down, you go like look at something, you're like, I feel like I have my phone. And then you would leave, and you just leave your baby. I'm real worried that would happen to me. But yeah, so I don't want to follow your baby's Instagram, and I don't want to look at the V2. I want to look at stuff without having it ruin the next 2 weeks. Like, I don't want it to show up on everything and think like, oh, now that this is what you're fucking into. I'm real worried about. I talk about it a lot on stage. I'm worried about the data and the implications of it, and I don't want to be painted in a bad light by Instagram. I don't want Instagram to have the last word on who I am as a person. You know what I mean? It used to be like, if you were dead, like, oh no, they'd find I don't want them to find the porn magazines under my bed and I can't explain, or I don't want I just don't want, I want to be able to explain my social profiles and the things that, I want to be able to explain my algorithms, pretty much. I want to be able to explain my algorithms to the world. Like, I'm just going to be a ghost floating around being like, you don't understand. I was interested by it and I just wanted to look. I don't like Hitler. I'm just fascinated by him. I just wanted to, watch some videos and learn. I just wanted to learn. Can't do it. Can't do it. Did you get vaccinated? I know a lot of people are getting vaccinated now. I haven't done it. I have yet to get an accurate test. I've been tested one time, and it was not, I had to do it for like this commercial thing that Kate and I did. It was not a legitimate test. I'm learning now that there's a spectrum to the quality of test that you can get for COVID, because we did a spit test, which, as far as I know, is kind of bullshit. There's nobody that I hear that is like kind of touting the effectiveness of a spit COVID test. Most of it's the swab in the nose. That's what I thought the standard was. Like, this is as far as it goes. But apparently, China, always pushing the line China, they've started to do anal swab COVID tests. Okay? Anal swab. Okay? And that's one thing I don't think that will fly in America. Over there, they're a little more of a, the government can be like, hey, this is what we're fucking doing. And they're just like, okay, yeah, we're all good. All set. It's not everywhere in China. It's like certain parts of Beijing or something. It's like the leader of Beijing, the leader there, their CDC or whatever you want to call it, is like, yeah, this is what we're doing now. You think America's running this shit? Boom. Anal test, dog. They're even more accurate. He saw all the clout that fucking Fauci was getting. He's like, you want a headline, dog? Bam. And people are doing it. I don't think they're too happy about it, but there's people getting anal COVID swabs. I just can't imagine that going down in America. Like, how? if you didn't see a headline that they were going to start to do that, you just went in for like a routine test or something, and your doctor was like, bend over. How much convincing would they have to do in order to get you to go along with it? Like, you'd for sure think like, oh, I'm getting punked. If you walked in, you're like, yeah, let's get the COVID test. He's like, all right, so we're actually, we're doing something different now. I know last time we did the nose swab, but it turns out that it's not as accurate as it could be. There's a new test that's even more accurate. Don't you want a test that's more accurate? Don't you want to know for sure if you're sick? Well, yeah. I mean, of course I do. I want to be healthy. I want to know if I'm sick, and I don't want to hurt anybody else. I don't want to get anybody else sick. Yeah, let's take this as far as it goes. Let's do what we got to do. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. You see this stick? I'm gonna put this far up your butt. Yeah, I think I'll take my chances. I think I'm all set. I mean, that would be me. There's no way I'm doing it. I'm already not getting regular COVID tests. There's no way I'm getting an anal swab, dude. Like, you can't come in with the anal swab. You can't up the game on the test when we're already starting to get vaccinated. That's an older, you know what I mean? It's not an advancement in the COVID shit. You know what I mean? That's like when they put walkie-talkies in phones. When they put walkie-talkies in phones, it's like, yeah, it's a good walkie-talkie, but we have phones. We're moving past this. We're not trying to advance the walkie-talkie. We're not trying to advance the tech. We're trying to advance the vaccinations. So, what are you doing, China? What are you doing? Get on the game, man. We're probably going to have to get tested. We're going to travel. We're going to California in March. And we're going to stay over there for a little bit. It should be fun. They're opening up a little bit, but I don't know. You never know with that fucking state. I mean, California just continues to burn. They're open and they're not open. The restaurants, you can go in them. You can't go in them. They just canceled Coachella, which how many fucking dreadlocked white dudes are upset now? I mean, they just can't catch a break. They can't catch a break. They're going to close Coachella, but Gavin Newsom is going to hold a private concert at his winery. You're not invited. That's what's going to happen. Coachella's canceled. Stagecoach, whatever it's called, that's canceled. But Gavin's going to hold a private. Paul McCartney's going to perform in his bathroom while Beyonce feeds him grapes in the tub. That's what's going to, and he's not going to understand what's wrong with that. That's what's going to happen. And then they're going to have a fucking orgy at the French Laundry with the other politicians while they do vaccine jello shots. Meanwhile, there's thousands of people just living on the street. It's not great. It's not going great. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, I've never been to Coachella. Not really interested, but it kind of doesn't upset me that it got canceled. It makes me happy that there's a bunch of people that are like, oh, no, fuck. We want to go to fucking Coachella and drop acid and fucking, do all this shit, man. Fucking, It should be fun. But yeah, man, we're gonna fly out there, and I don't know, we're gonna be there for a month, because if we're sitting around, it's a better place to sit around. You have the outdoors, and you can go outside, and it's not negative fucking 2 degrees or whatever. We might go out to one of the national parks. I don't know. My brother says I have to go out and see the cliffs and see the sights and all that stuff. It's the only activity that you can really do that people won't light you up online. Like you can go out in the middle of a mountain and take your mask off and post a picture, and people won't get upset about you. But anything else, it's out the door, man. I just miss doing shit. just miss doing shit. But I'm excited. I'm excited to travel again, and go out there. We're going to be in Northern California. I'm interested in seeing what LA is like. We're probably not going to go down there, but I kind of want to see what the state of it is, even if I'm just driving through. I went to LA a few years ago, and it was a good time. You know what I mean? Like, I went there by myself. I stayed in a bad part of town. I thought it was like New York, where I stayed in downtown LA. And if you said, oh, I'm staying in downtown New York, I'm like, oh, that's a good part of town. But I didn't realize that that's not a good part of town in LA. So I was staying like in the hood. Like, how is this hotel so cheap? Well, that's why. Surprisingly, didn't steal anything when I was in LA. You'd think I would steal. Didn't steal. You know, I was changed at that point. But yeah, I went to LA, and it wasn't as, you know, I went by the homeless, what's it called, Skid Row or whatever, and it was scary, you know. There's a lot of homeless people, but I didn't think it compared to anything in New York at the time. I was like, these homeless people are weak. You know what I mean? They get the good weather. They got a fucking tent. New Yorkers, they don't have that. New York homeless people are fucking tough. They're out here grinding. You know what I mean? But I'm hearing that LA is just overrun with homeless people. And I don't see how you turn that around. I don't know how you just allow people to just live and shit on the street. I mean, it seems fucking bananas. I don't know how you fucking turn that around. LA's not the spot anymore, man. It's kind of crazy to think. Everyone went from California to Austin. And I thought about it too. Like, oh, maybe we should move there. Maybe it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we are. New York's not, I don't want to say New York's dead, but like, I'm realistically thinking, even if they said tomorrow, like, oh, we can open up everything tomorrow. Everything can open back up. There's no one here. There's no one here. No one is visiting New York. New Yorkers are visiting New York. We did a fucking staycation, and it was shitty. I mean, the time wasn't shitty, but the hotel, the service, people aren't, it's not the fucking New York that it was. I was trying to be optimistic about it. I'm like, yeah, you know, the New Yorkers that are left, they're only the real New York. I kind of miss tourism, I'll be honest. Even though most tourists suck, and like it did bring an energy, there's nobody excited anymore. People that lived here and people that, have lived here for 30 years, they're not excited about New York anymore. They're just like, everyone's just nervous. How do I pay my fucking rent? How do I do all, it doesn't have that kind of same energy. So why does it matter if everything's is everything going to go virtual? Maybe it will. I don't want, I'm used to working in restaurants. They're all dead. They're not coming back. One of my old bosses, he wanted me to come work at the place. He's like, oh, indoor dining might open back up. And I don't want to. Nobody wants to go and work at a place where nobody's going to go. I can't sit around. I cannot sit around and especially working at a restaurant, you just want to eat food. You just want to eat food and drink alcohol. If there's nothing going on, I need to be busy. I need to be busy doing something. And so everyone's going a little fucking stir crazy, if you ask me. Well, at least I am. But VTubers, huh? Isn't that creepy shit? It's a little creepy. I get people are into it, but whatever. Let's play a little more. Hi.
ちょっとやらかした時でも気持ち切り替えて
Let's fucking go, bro.
ぼーっとしたオフィスガリーは背伸びをして
Fire.
お腹減ったらすぐもぐもぐとお茶の合間
What is happening? Oh, God. The internet will always win. That's kind of the sentiment of all of this. The internet will always win. We will become obsolete. We're not going to matter. The internet is going to fucking win. The internet is what happened with GameStop. I don't really know much about stocks, but I know that the internet fucking beat the old school guard and they took the billionaires' money. Well, ha 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 ha. That's what happens. The internet is it's the fucking future, man. It's the future. It made me want to get in stock. Like I have the stocks app on my phone. I don't have stocks, but I like looking at them. I like seeing the green and I like seeing the red. I like seeing that, we're up. We're up. I pretend to have stocks. I pretend I'm going to say I invested. You can go online. You could create pretty much a fake brokerage account portfolio and be like, all right, what would happen if I put, I bought 30 shares of this stock and let's go. It's fun to gamble, man. It's fun to gamble, and that's all it is. It's just people gambling, and there's people that are at the top, and they're the masters of it, and they manipulate the shit, and they move everything around, and they ruin the economy, and then they get rich and make billions off it. And then I love that a bunch of people off Reddit took control, and they were like, you know what? You think this stock's gonna fail? Boom, let's fight. Of course it was GameStop. Of course it was fucking GameStop. They were like, we must save them. GameStop will not go down. That's fucking nerd, Cheeto finger, that's their blockbuster. They will not let them fail. Yeah, everybody just you can buy video games right off of the console now. Everyone's buying them on Amazon. But no. That is a thing that they're like, we don't want this to die. We like going into the store and talking to the fucking dude behind the counter about the new drop, that's the nerd shoe game. Oh shit, you see what's coming down the pipe? They got like a Google News alert for Activision on their phone. They're like, oh shit, this is fucking the new Call of Duty fucking I like it a little bit. I like the main games, I get Madden, I get Call of Duty, I get the the bigger games, but people are into those niche games where it's it's in the same realm of the anime stuff where they're like, oh, any games with where there's lords, or they use the word realms a lot. Games with realms, or we gotta collect all the infinity pearls or whatever, shit like that. Not into it. Anything with we got the upgrade and you have to go into each realm and collect all the fucking that's Harry Potter. But you know what I'm saying? Those games. The games where it's not you have a gun, there's a bad guy, shoot the guy, or it's a sport, or just something that's a little more mainstream. I'm not that deep into it. I only like those games, but people get super fucking into them. And they didn't want to let GameStop die. And it won't die. They're still doing pretty well. AMC might die. AMC movie theaters probably won't be a thing. I don't know. I miss movie theaters and I don't. I only miss napping in a movie theater. That used to be a big thing with me. I had a tight schedule. I ran a tight fucking schedule. I was up at 5 a.m. I would work all day, and then I would have, I would go out and do stand-up and stuff. But sometimes if I got out of work early, I had this in-between little chunk of time. And I had an AMC Stubs pass where I would go to AMC and I would take naps. Get to the movie at 20 minutes early, and you just kind of sleep through the previews, because they're not as loud as the actual movie. And it was a fucking blessing. It was a beautiful thing, because I was just going to matinees, and I would sleep through the previews. All you need is a good 20-minute nap. I was getting 5 hours of sleep back then. Super unhealthy. I don't think I could go back to that. But yeah, you sleep through the previews, you wake up, and then the movie's starting. It was great. You get a snack or something, you can just sit back and relax. I mean, it was amazing. It was a place to sit down, which sounds sad if you don't live in New York, but that's my biggest problem in New York. There's not a lot of places to just sit down. People in New York, they don't like when you sit down. They don't like when you loiter. If you sit down in New York, you have to buy something. That's how it works. And I guess I basically did that with the AMC shit because I had a membership there. But if you want to fucking park your ass in New York, you got to fork up some money. If you want to walk around in a place, People want you to buy shit. That's what keeps it moving. There's too many people here for everyone to just take a seat. You want to take a piss? Forget about it. Nobody's letting you piss in this city without you forking up some cash. It's not happening. I mean, I literally would work it into my budget. Like, I'm going to have to buy a small tea every once in a while to take a piss. It's just the nature of it. Occasionally you get lucky. Occasionally you get lucky. You go into the Starbucks and there's like a little bit of a line and the dude in front will hold the door open and then you can go in and blow up the bathroom and then the next dude comes in. It's a nice little cycle. And the Starbucks employees don't care. They're making minimum wage. They don't give a fuck. You know? Occasionally you'd get the homeless dude in front of you who goes in and needs to take a bath and then you're waiting a little bit and you have to hold your piss. But that was part of it. It made New York City worth it. You're like, yeah, there's all this cool shit and it's exciting and there's energy and occasionally I have to wait 5 minutes and buy a tea to take a piss. Occasionally. But it was worth it. And I hope that comes back. I hope it comes back that I'm waiting in line to pee. That I'm paying to wait in line to pee. I hope that kind of shit comes back. Bud Light finished. But, who knows? We'll see. So, yeah, that's the podcast. I'm interested to see what the setup will be once we go out there. I'm still going to obviously do the show when we're in California. The visual will obviously be a little bit different, but we'll figure it out. I'm excited. That's going to be in March. But for now, enjoy your week. And thanks for listening. Subscribe to the YouTube. And go watch some VTubers, man. Go lose your shit with some fucking VTubers. Isn't this what you want? This is what you want in your life. Alright, so enjoy. We'll see you next time.